one more week one game that I want to highlight before we get into the Sunday night game is between the Buffalo Bills and the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals got off to a 17-0 lead, I believe it was, and the Bills, they looked very rough to start off, and that's expected. You lose some key veterans, a guy like Stephon Diggs. But the Bills were able to rally and eventually come out with the win. And this, I mentioned it with the Packers. The Bills, I think, are going to kind of run a wide receiver by committee. This year, they've got a very good tight end in Dalton Kincaid. But the wide receiver position isn't really set. You've got, young guys who've shown some flashes like Khalil Shakir. But in general, you don't have any solidified number one options. And maybe you'll see that next year. Kind of like Jayden Reed taking a leap for the Green Bay Packers. But you've still, in spite of that, got one of the best quarterbacks in the league and a touchdown machine. You can complain about the Josh Allen turnovers all you want. He is also a touchdown machine, so it really evens out. And when you have one of the best quarterbacks in the league, he's going to be able to make a lot of things work. And Josh Allen can scramble as well, so you don't even need to have a wide receiver wide open in the end zone because he's going to be able to rush it in himself. So it takes a little bit of the pressure off of having a very good wide receiver core because Josh Allen's going to be able to kind of compensate for that. It's the same way if you have a middle-of-the-pack quarterback and you've got really good wide receivers, then you can kind of make up for what the quarterback lacks by having such good wide receivers, except it's the other way around for Buffalo. So I think Buffalo, they're kind of sneaky because just with the loss of guys like Stephon Diggs, you think, oh, hey, this is kind of going to be a reset year for Buffalo. But I think there are three teams from the AFC East that can all make the playoffs. The Miami Dolphins, New York Jets, and still the Buffalo Bills. They've been juggernauts in the AFC for a reason. I don't think it's going to stop now. For Arizona, I would like to see more out of involving Marvin Harrison Jr. in the offense. All the people that had him in fantasy were real mad, but really, I don't think you should have ever drafted him fantasy-wise that high. Like, some people took him in the first round. I disagree with that. But Marvin Harrison Jr., he's a great prospect for a reason. In real life, he went right where he should in the draft. He'll be fine, ultimately. The targets aren't promising, but that'll get better. Kyler Murray, he only played half of last year. He had injuries to start the year. So he's still kind of getting more into the offense with this new coach. So it'll be fine. I think the Cardinals are going to be pretty solid this year. So I just want to see more out of a guy like Marvin Harrison Jr., involve him in the offense. But the Cardinals, I think they're going to be another sneaky team that can really go on and be competitive. Do I think they're going to make the playoffs? No. But I think that they are going to give some, contending teams some fits over this regular season. If you enjoyed this video, it would be great if you could find it in you to like, subscribe, maybe check out the full podcast on Spotify, follow us on there, follow us on Instagram. I know realistically this podcast isn't going to go anywhere ultimately, whether it's via the segments on YouTube or the entire podcast itself. But I want to get into the sports broadcasting business. I want to be able to promote thought-provoking discussions about the NBA, and I would love to do it via State of the Association. Thank you if you made it all the way through.